having trouble getting going, having played yesterday. But I thought they played really a high-level second half. And in that fourth quarter, there are two guys, Harden and Embiid down the stretch, were simply sensational.
A couple of guys really standing out in this one. One of them was Tyrese Maxey. Here he is with Kate Scott and Ala Abdenabi.
All right, joined now, of course, by our guy, Tyrese Maxey. No, it was a frustrating first half, Tyrese. You just had to sit and watch that second quarter. So what was your mindset coming into the third?
Just try to be aggressive as I could, help my team as much as possible, bring some energy, and try not to get the cramp or anything. I sat down for a long time, but, it was good to get this W.
Well, you looked like you were engaged when you were sitting down. Is there anything that jumped out at you while you were on the bench observing that you knew once you got in the ball game you could exploit?
Yeah, just execution and pace. When we push the pace, get in transition, get stops, get finishes at the rim, then we're really good. So I think we did that a little bit in the third quarter, and we go on a little run, and we got a little separation that really helped us win this game.
And then Joel Embiid, I think he might have had like 10 offensive rebounds and putbacks in the fourth quarter. What would you like to say about your MVP candidate tonight?
Man, he just does what he's supposed to do. I mean, we don't expect anything less. I keep saying the entire year that I try my hardest not to take it for granted when he does amazing things like this. I think he had like 40 and like 15, and that's
it. Yeah.
That's what he does. He's the MVP for a reason.
Season's about to wind down. You've had a tremendous season thus far, but I know you got a lot more work still that you intend to do. What is your outlook moving forward as the playoffs near?
Just be in the best shape as I possibly can, be the best version of myself, and then help my team as much as possible win games. Every single game in the playoffs is broken down to single possession games. So just got to be locked in, be focused, help my teammates stay focused, and try to win games.
Well, great finish here
nice
tonight.
Work.
Congrats on the victory, Tyrese.
All right, appreciate y'all.
Yeah, he's not kidding. He talked about the pace, and he talked about his MVP, and that would be Joel Embiid. But let's check in now with Kate and Ala. And, guys, this was a fun one to call. You heard it. The chants were coming. Everybody was going crazy there in Cleveland. Of course, Matisse Thybulle silenced them all with that one swipe. But what an atmosphere there, you would think, Kate.
It was an incredible atmosphere.
I can still see you. I can still see you.
Guys who are working are excited. They want to continue talking about how great of an atmosphere it was. No, but it was. I mean, nobody expected the Cavs to be as good as they've been this year. You can see what an entertaining product they are. The fact that our team came out on top, all made it that much better. It was a great night. Yeah,
it was. And the Cavaliers made some runs. They played with energy. It was one of our keys coming into this matchup that you had to match their energy because this is a young team that brings that on a nightly basis. And the 76ers, having played last night, were going to perhaps be a little bit, I guess, sluggish to start with, and you saw that today. But then they were able to get their legs going and then play normal Sixer basketball, especially in that third and fourth period.
Hey, guys, let's talk about Joel Embiid. At one point, it seemed like a switch went off, like, okay, guys, we're not doing too well. Let me turn my tempo up and my ability to get going up. And it seemed like he ratcheted it up at some point during the third quarter that made him play even harder. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I did. I thought he picked up his game because he needed to pick up his game. The 76ers were struggling. They were behind the eight ball, if you will, because the Cavaliers were knocking down shots. Markkanen and Garland and guys like Stevens were playing well. So the Sixers had to have an answer for that, and that's exactly what they did in the form of Joel Embiid.
I'll throw this your way, Mark. Embiid in the fourth quarter in just 8 minutes, 12 points and 5 rebounds. James Harden in the fourth quarter. James played 11 minutes in the fourth quarter. 8 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. That's what you need from your big two, right? They help close it out, especially because we all know that's been frustrating the last couple of weeks.
Guys, how about the defense by the Sixers in the fourth quarter? During the 3-game losing streak, we were all critical, and I think fairly so, of fourth quarter defense. I think it cost them all 3 of those games. But I thought tonight the fourth quarter D in a hostile environment like that was nothing short of sensational.
Well, again, we mentioned it as we were coming out of that last timeout. The atmosphere in here, everybody was on their feet, and you could tell that this was going to be not just the fact that you're taking on the 5 guys on the floor, but you're going to have to take on the whole building. The 76ers did just that. They kept their poise, and they executed, especially defensively, out of that timeout. Matisse with the steal. Timely defense down the stretch by the Sixers.
What a great exclamation point that was. Matisse to Tobias. Ball game here in Cleveland. So off to Indiana we go. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did here in Cleveland.
Yes, we did. Thanks so much. It was nice to get that win and officially clinch that playoff spot. All right, guys, thanks so much. I know, they're walking everywhere. They're still talking to you. Yeah, it's fine. It's just
invite them over. Come sit, everybody. Just come sit.
Just take this job.
Okay?
Everybody wants to be a Sixers fan. Come on the bandwagon, everybody.
They want to be with the best crew in TV. I love it. All right, guys, we'll see you soon. See you Tuesday.
Great work. Great work, everybody.
I love it. Everybody walking in front. Kate and Ella don't lose their composure on that one. And Joel Embiid doesn't lose his composure really ever. He said yesterday was the most fun he's having. I think he probably had a lot of fun in this one. He is our Colonial Nissan game changer. When you put up 44 points, you're going to change a lot of games, Mark Jackson. But 12 of 26 shooting. And I know everybody's, he shoots all the free throws. But 17 of 20. You foul him, he's going to make the buckets either way. So sorry about it. Not really.
Exactly. He can't help it if he's a scoring phenom and you trying to find a way to stop him. And the only way you can is by putting your hands on him, by fouling him. But his ability to be able to pass, to ratchet up, to play even harder, to play even better when it requires him to, is just special to watch. Look at that pass.
Touch pass.
Beautiful.
And Jim, you mentioned the fourth quarter defense. Joel's defense, obviously, we know it's very good. He has the 5 blocks, but there was that play late where Darius Garland came in, and it's not going to go down as a block. I put plus next to 5 because he affects the ball so many different ways.
That's a great point, Aim. I knew when you started speaking, I knew the play you were going to refer to. Garland, really, he had a point blank, maybe about a 10-foot bank shot. But Joel was like lurking right under the basket, and just the indecision on Garland's part. He rarely shoots a ball that poorly. And believe me, Joe's presence was no coincidence.
Yeah, he's going up there and he's thinking, oh, no, I don't, because here's a giant blue jersey coming right at me. So here's where this is the MVP consideration. Here's some of the people that you're thinking about. So here's the most 40-point games this season. Well, he got 44 tonight, so he's got 11. I did see that earlier in the day. Jokic had a pretty good game. I'm not saying Joel Embiid looked at that, but maybe he looked at that a little bit because I think he does. But, I mean, I know he doesn't want to win it at the expense of not going far in the playoffs, but certainly games like this has to help his consideration, Mark.
Absolutely, Amy, it does. This is just what he's been doing all year. This is nothing different. It's nothing new. We've been used to seeing him dominate. And it's just helping us. We have 2 other guys in the league doing a similar thing in Jokic and Giannis. But Joel, his ability to play on both ends of the floor, you see the way he throws his body around, going after blocks, going after loose balls, challenging every possession, affecting the game on both ends. You know, that's special. I don't think Jokic is doing that. Respectfully, I don't think Jokic is doing it.
Jokic had a good game, 38, 18, and 6. But what Joel does sometimes doesn't show up in the stat sheet, Jim. And I think maybe that's when Doc Rivers and Matisse Thybulle and Tyrese Maxey, you heard earlier, when they all talk about why he's their MVP, it's things like that.
Yeah, and rightly so. I mean, obviously, it's the difference in winning and losing a lot of these games. I said it the other night. I think Jokic, this is just me now, I'm predicting what they are going to vote. I think Jokic may have slid narrowly to that 3rd spot. I think we're coming to the wire, and I think it's Giannis and Embiid. It's a fascinating race, and these 2 guys are just entertaining me, and I hope the rest of the NBA basketball world.
I mean, it is incredible. And the thing is, you're not going to go wrong. If Giannis wins it, it's going to be incredible. And if Joel wins his first, it'll, of course, be incredible because you'll look at games like this. This was not a must-win, but you're wanting to be going on the right direction heading into the playoffs. You only have now 4 games to go, 5, including this one. And you want to keep that momentum that you got against the Hornets. So you put up 44 on 12 of 26 shooting. And look at this. He had 4 offensive boards, which were huge, 17 total rebounds, 5 blocks. Who counts how many disruptions he had when you think about it? I mean, we talk about it at halftime, Mark, but we always say, like, ho-hum, 17 points from Joe. I mean, you almost expect it at this point from him. You
do, Amy. And look how efficient he is. It's not like he's shooting 40 shots to get 40. Like, he does a great job of punishing you so many different ways. You need a 3. You need some multiple free throw shooting. You just need a bucket when it counts. But most importantly, you need the assist. Joel just does it. But most importantly, he affects the game on the defensive end. I will say Giannis is very similar and does similar things. But, like, watching Joel does this night in and night out, I like this team, let's just be honest, let's call it what it is. This Sixers team should have been down 20-something points in the first half because they lacked of making shots. But if it wasn't for Joel Embiid protecting that rim, it would have been that.
Yeah, I mean, at one point they were shooting 27% from 3, and he's a guy that kept them in it because of the way that he plays, just the effort that you see him give. All right, we're going to take our first time out here on Sixers Postgame Live. What is that? Oh, yeah, clap your hands, everybody.